Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Double the Trouble. I'm Chris.
And I'm Manny.
And today we got a very special guest with us. We got Steven Martinez, a.k.a. Megaman.
What's up?
What's up, dude?
So how are you doing, man?
Long day. Let's just say hashtag team no sleep.
Oh, fuck. So you've just been pounding at these podcasts left and right.
Yeah, left and right. Because I started my new job and, I've been trying to bang like a lot of episodes out much as I can, I used to do 2 episodes a week. Now it's going to be to 1, and everything because I have a lot of people who I'm going to get on November, December, January, February, and March, and all that stuff. So take it to the next level. Like I gained some big people now.
Dude, and it sounds like you're fucking booked.
Yeah, I'm booked.
Thankfully we got you, dude.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah, and I was like, man, dude, it's like I did a podcast I did a podcast in the morning, and after that I did a power sleep for like an hour. Took my son, played hooky at school. We went to Hollywood because I never went to Hollywood, like the Chinese theater. I did a podcast with Rafa. He's like a well-known photographer out of East LA, and I did that. Then I had to drive back, and it took about 2 hours to come back home because of traffic.
Jeez.
And freaking Apple fucked me up, took me to the streets instead of the freeway.
Dude, that's why I never fucking use Apple Maps, dude. Fuck that shit. And
you can't.
I mean, Google Maps isn't as good either, but it's better than fucking Waze.
But you can't be mad at Apple.
Fucking Waze, dude. Fucking Waze takes you through like someone's backyard and shit. Yeah, man. Thinking it's an alley.
Yes, but that's what gives you that special experience. You fucking detour.
Yeah. So after that, I came back home and my son was exhausted. Let's go get some Jack in the Box, and I had to take like a power nap, and after that I woke up around 6:20, and I saw look at my maps like, oh shit, I'm barely gonna fucking make it if I leave. So I left like around 6:08, and I barely got here, dude.
Jeez. And your timing's fucking perfect though.
Yeah,
dude. Fuck, you got here. I mean, shit, I was almost late today.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was traffic over there by on the 605, but once I got to the 10 and then start slowing down to past West Covina, then I was like, okay, we're almost here.
Oh, the 605 is always like that.
I used to come here a lot, like Indian Hill right here, like Montclair. We're in Montclair right now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, there's a brewery over there called Sandbox.
Oh, okay.
Like over there, so that's how I used to go over there. I think it's on Arrowhead Way or something like that.
I think it's like Arrow Highway.
Arrow Highway, yeah.
Like a little bit past Central, I think.
Yeah,
well, if it's past Central, that's Arrow Route now.
No, Arrow Route technically.
Something
Arrow
like
Highway
that.
Skips up a little bit.
Yeah, it's in East. We used to come over there and get like a lot of craft beer because it's like in a commercial building and stuff, like nice houses and stuff. Like, oh, this is pretty nice,
Oh, cool. And have you ever tried Rock House?
I haven't heard of it.
No, it's on Central and 11th Street. I think that's Upland. And I've only gone there like once or twice. I tried their little samples, and then I'm like, okay, cool, let me buy some brewing supplies because I wanted to start brewing.
Yeah.
And yeah, they hooked me up with some shit, and I'm like, cool, I get to fucking brew something.
There's some killers out here in Inland Empire. You got Rowdies, you got Hamiltons, you got Black Market, you got Claremont. Sandbox, go into the more high desert like Marietta, like Temecula. You got Electric, you got 8-Bit, and all that stuff. Just trying like a lot of different craft beers and stuff. Like they're just popping out. There's one because now I'm part of the SoCal Cerveceros, like the home brewer club.
Oh, so you're actually part of it now?
Yeah, part of it now. So I'm gonna start making beers, but do whatever I can to help out the club. One of the guys who founded SoCal Cerveceros, he just opened a brewery in San Dimas called Feather Serpent Brewery.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's close by.
Yeah. Oh, you know where it's at? You heard of it?
Through Arrow, right?
I think. I don't know. I haven't been there yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the guy, after the podcast, I'm going to crash at his house, George, Roscoe's Brewery. He's a home brewer. He's the vice president of SoCal Cerveceros, and he does part-time with Feather Serpent. I'm going to be crashing over there tonight because I got to drive all the way to Chino, I think. Chino, somewhere like my Ranch Cook, way out there.
No, you're like probably like 10, 15 minutes down the street, dude.
Oh, Chino?
Yeah, you're
Chino Hills?
Oh, yeah, Chino Hills, you're fucking like 10 minutes that way then.
Oh,
like
okay.
down the 71 and shit.
Perfect.
Yeah, dude. So you're not too far. You're like right in the little hub.
Is this the reason why I wanted to crash? Because if I do this podcast, I gotta drive all the way back to Long Beach.
No, yeah, dude. Fuck that, dude.
And I have to come back and forth. And I had a full tank. Now I'm almost at an empty now.
Oh shit!
And like
And
I was traveling, dude. And yeah, but things been going good on the podcast, and just taking it one episode at a time. And I did recently the Yo. First time ever. They wanted me on, and it was like mouth dropping eyes, because they have a network, and they have different types of podcasts doing it, and it's just something where it's like like with you guys have computer and sound. I don't have this. The only thing I just have is just my iPhone and my microphone.
Oh, dude, but you're still fucking pushing those episodes, and it's like you said earlier, it's all about that fucking hustle.
Yeah, it's a hustle, and the reason why and stuff. I like to travel to different cities and meet like you guys or different types of people and know different surroundings and try to get a lot of reps. And you do other people's podcasts, the visitors, if it's live, if it's like how you guys are, like small, big time, you want to get the reps in so you can take all that jitter and that nervousness now.
Yeah, dude, definitely. And for me, like that, like we started. I started with you guys a few months back.
Yeah.
And from there, that's when you had started the venue, and then helping him with the venue. That's what helped ease it off.
That's actually the only reason why I'm not pushing a bunch of episodes out is because I have different podcasts that I do.
You have 3. 2 or 3.
This one, the venue, the sound guy for a podcast called Fredo's Rants. I'm helping him with his.
Oh, wow.
And then the Graveyard Shift 5.
Is that the Graveyard Shift? That's the scary one, huh?
Yeah, it's supposed to be. We're going to change the format on that.
Because I was in Pasadena, and I was at that freaking bridge, passed by it. And they put the high fences where people used to commit suicide.
Yeah, dude. And I was talking about that, too. Because
trippy,
our buddy Lucky D, he was telling us how he had went before they had put the fences, and then after they had put the fences. And I guess he was like, dude, like, you could see how these people would do it just based on, just being there personally and then just getting up on there, how easy it is just to climb over and just fucking do it.
So is that podcast, is more like a scary movies and like scary stuff?
It's supposed to just be anything spooky.
Yeah, pretty much. Just
I like creepy, like spooky, like episodes, like, like the New Jersey at Clinton Road. And all that. And there's one where you drive your car in a tunnel and the battery dies. What's that? I'm talking about, right?
Yes. I can't remember.
And hear voices and shit, and
see that's the shit that I really want to experience. But I guess because I want it so bad, it doesn't happen.
My buddy, we're supposed to have him on in a week or two. He's really busy. He's busy right now. He's it's drift season, because of that, everybody, like all my fucking friends that I'm supposed to have on the podcast, they're fucking busy because they're like, I'm prepping, I'm fucking setting shit up, dude. Like, I have a whole ass motor out that I need to have in 2 fucking days, and I'm just like, okay, I mean, it's cool, I feel it, dude. Yeah. But my buddy Alex, it's more of just, I already have everything prepped up. It's just I'm fucking lazy and I need to go change my tires, and I'm waiting till the last minute. But he just makes it seem like, bro, I can't. But he's a funny motherfucker, dude. He's a trucker. He works for my dad's company and everything. I helped him get a job, him and my neighbor. The only reason why I'm not doing it is because I'm not going to work for my dad. He's going to make me do shit I don't want to do.
I'm going to live for free rent.
No, not even that, dude. Well, I don't live in my dad's house. This fool lives in the OC.
What fuck?
Yeah, that fool has that bitchin' ass view. You can see the fucking fireworks from Disney and shit at night. I'm like, damn, Dad, must be nice. He was like, I don't even look at the fireworks.
How is it living over here? Because there was always a time where I wanted to move out here.
Well, nowadays, like, honestly, it's...
I like quietness.
It's a mix, depending on where you're at. Like, over here, you're in the nice little suburbs.
You'll get quiet here, but you go like 2 minutes down, it's noisy as fuck.
Yeah, dude.
Gunshots fucking everywhere.
I call it the Kingsley divide. Once you pass Kingsley and you go down, it's just fucking ghetto.
It's straight ghetto. Like, it's such a drastic change too. Because you go on the other side of the street, nice fucking houses. On the other side, fucking apartments that are going to shit.
Yeah, on my side of Kingsley, that's where we have the cul-de-sac and all that shit. fucking they're nice houses. They're supposed to be like what is it, like those old model homes from back in the 60s and 70s. So each house is literally the fucking same, just oriented different. So my neighbor would always walk in and be like, hey dude, my house looks like your house, bro. It's just a little bit different. And so that's our houses. You go fucking across the street and all the houses are like old 40s houses. They're all fucking tiny and squished in. And it's like almost as if you're in like LA for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you drive down the street, and then there's the infamous Holt Boulevard with all the hoes and everything.
Oh, what's up with this? What's up? What's up? Where the hoes at?
Yeah, dude, you're like literally fucking right down the street from the house. You drive, and it's anywhere between 8 o'clock until 5 o'clock in the morning. There's just bitches out. Fucking anything between. Hungry.
Dude, I've seen
anything
them
with just straight cooch.
I've seen them at 4 a.m, fucking hustling and shit. Like going up to cars. Oh, fucking you want to have a good time? And I'm
Probably
thinking,
a cop.
I'm thinking, what the fuck? It's cold as shit. Put a sweater on. Like, fuck.
Are they like young or old?
Mixed,
dude. Like literally anything.
White girls, Asian girls,
everything. Dude.
Dude.
There was this one lady that made me laugh because, old bitch, like really fucking old, gray hair and everything. She had a leopard print fucking dress, like really, yeah, really short fucking skirt, and you could tell she's old because she still had the beehive hairdo.
Yeah.
And she's just fucking strutting around.
About this shit.
Yeah.
Oh, dude. Did I tell you about the time I saw the midget hooker?
Oh, shit.
There was a midget hooker on hold.
Bridget the midget.
Dude. They put it on Pomona patch and everything. I don't know if it made it on Food's Gone Wild or not, but this bitch is just like twerking on the fucking side of Holt trying to get somebody to pick her ass up. And I'm like, holy shit, is that real? Like, I need to flip a bitch and go take a picture, but
fuck,
my sister's like, you gotta go. We gotta go.
But around here, pretty much quiet.
Yeah, and like literally over here, quiet. Fucking go down a few streets towards the Pomona swap meet.
Yeah.
And it's just ghetto.
Yeah, like to me in Long Beach, man, there's like so much like breweries, so much dive bars to do, but man, I'm just so like, all I just do is go work, family, and home, dude. I had the adventures, dude. I had my life, dude, but man, dude, there's just times like I'm getting older now. It's like I get too tired because I'm so burned out doing podcasts. It's like I'm doing this, and some people think like there are some other podcasts. I won't mention names, but they said like you're putting too much content out.
There's no such thing.
Yeah,
as long as the content is still good, it's fine.
Like they said, like you should be putting out one episode a week. Why you put 2? Why you put 3? But when you think about when you have graphs and you look at your numbers, you know, like let's say for example my month, you know, like let's say this is the new month in November. So the first and the third week I would put my episodes out Monday and Wednesday. The second and the fourth week I would put my episodes out Tuesday and Thursday. You just want to see that graph of grow and stuff like that. And also doing social media, you got to go on hardcore because there are some people that have like social media, like they have Twitter and this. Dude, I just do it on my Instagram, you know, and all that. But that just takes more time to be on social media every day. And you know,
switching between the 5
I don't want to do
apps.
Then you know that thing they have on the iPhone, like you've been on your phone for 9 hours.
Yeah,
like I don't want that shit.
Shit,
I hate it, man.
Yeah. I actually just saw that thing today. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And it's like screen time.
Your usage.
I'm like, what?
Oh, dude, because I have Android now instead of the Apple. I was like, oh, it doesn't tell me no more. Fuck no. Now it's even more hardcore. I'm trying to delete shit off my phone and it'll tell me this is how much you use on this app. This is how much time you use on this app. And I'm like, and it's a literal fucking huge graph. And I'm just like, yeah, I spent way too much time on fucking Facebook.
Yeah, when I saw mine, I spent one week. I spent about like 22 hours. Shit. Like, you know, because I was like doing social media, and I was always on it, look at the numbers and this, like, what am I doing and stuff like that. Because, you know, doing the podcast, you know, when people say, "Oh, I could do a podcast," dude, it's a lot of work.
Oh, hell yeah, it's a lot of work.
Like with you guys, like you're produced and you guys talk, like, dude, I'm doing everything.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's like, why do it on my phone, like with Anchor, and you can do edit. So to me, when I do a podcast when I have guests and all, I try to make my errors very, very limited, like very like to the point, like one error. You know when you put it together and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but you'll have your times, you have your moments, you know. But like podcasts, I like to do the background check, get background stuff like the editing, producing, and stuff like that. because there's some other podcasts where they depend on the producer to do everything. But what happens if something happens to that producer? There goes the podcast, and it's already done. Yeah, I'd rather do all that stuff behind the scenes. Like, okay, if something happened with him, I'll take over.
Yeah,
it's easy.
I technically produce everything.
So there's times where I'll try to direct things and like try to be quiet during the podcast. And I'll just be like, all right, point at the mic, lower that real quick.
Yeah.
Because we one of our co-hosts, Richard, we had an issue where
he's actually the one on the logo that's right next to me.
Yeah.
That dude, fuck.
Dude, they just had a baby, so they were bringing the baby and everything. And me and him had this whole fucking joke. He was like, dude, we know we have Richard on for too long, and it's only been about like half an hour or so when this motherfucker's already crashing out and the fucking baby's hitting the mic with their head like that. And I'm just like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, I'm just like, lower the mic.
Yeah.
Lower the mic.
Yeah. This is probably the third podcast I done like for like a guest, like, you know, and stuff. There was a podcast who invited me on, and I told them like, hey, how long you been doing podcasts? About 4 or 5 years. And they had 3 guys. It was in Whittier. I'll tell you who they are like after the show and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And they invited me. I was like, okay, yeah, let's go check it out. Well, when I did the podcast, I kind of felt in my heart like, I don't know about these guys. And what happened is they were just very immature. The guy, one of the guys who was in the podcast, we did a table like how we are. This motherfucker just walked past me, just fucking farted in my face.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like dead silent, like, dude.
Was that the first time you met him?
Yeah, it was the first time I met them.
Wait, what the fuck?
And he farted like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, dude, it was like, I was like, this is gonna go bad. You know, when he's like, oh, I couldn't hold it. It's like, dude, that's uncivilized. Come on, you can't hold it. It stank. It was like I started fucking gagging. It's like, what the fuck you eat, bro? And then I was like, dude, that's disgusting. I should have walked out. And the stupid me, I put my phone to check every live, and then people are clowning like, what, the guy fucking farted in your face and shit. You know, like, what happened?
Oh, fuck, dude.
So we're doing the podcast, and it's like at the same time they have 3 guys talking. They got the fucking DVD playing No Countries for Old Men. Then you have this guy who was drinking all fucking day wine, was kept on like over talking to me, like, you know. So out of those 3 hours, there's only good maybe about 30 minutes of good content.
Yeah,
it was a waste of time, and the guy was over talking.
Jeez,
I hate that. You know, when we do podcasts, we like, if you guys are talking, I will listen. You listen, like all that. That's the thing I hate, like over talking.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, that's what I felt with the Graveyard Shift show. The first few episodes, like I was just like, this is a shit show. We need to figure this out. We're gonna restructure this shit. If we're gonna have so and so on again, they have to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Unless they have something to contribute. If they're gonna bring any random guests, I can't have any weird noises. I don't want anybody fucking goofing off on their fucking phone and shit. Unless you're like trying to bring up a subject or something, then okay, be on your phone. But like if I see you twiddling on Facebook and shit, I'm just like, hey, dude, like, and you're just like belching random ass noises. Fucking Fredo. Fucking. I'm calling him out because he's a part of the network anyway, so he's gonna listen. But no, because like that episode, it could have been fucking funny if it weren't for those little quirps and like those little quips and shit that people are just randomly adding. Like, dude, it could have been fucking funny.
Yeah, like when I do a podcast with you or whoever, I try to keep it more professional. Yeah, like, you know, I'm not on my phone. Like, people look and they're talking. I put it on this Do Not Disturb because when a podcast who wants me to be on, I'm like a guest. Yeah. You know, I want to be me. I want to be like professional, but at the same time, this is your podcast. I'm gonna go with the flow. I'm gonna listen to you. Have a good flow and stuff like that. You know, and some other podcasts, you know, they can be doing podcasts for 5 years and they're still like on stage 1. Oh yeah. You know, they don't want to grow up like, oh, just whatever. And sometimes like what that podcast I was doing, you know, and I told them, I was like, dude, I don't know why you had me on. This is a waste of time, you know, and everything. So that's what I just did. It's like, dude, like, you're never gonna mature if you don't, you know. And I told him straight out, it's like, you know what? I think this podcast would be better with only you, not you guys. And they got all butthurt, but it's keeping it real.
There's always gonna be that one guy that is trying to take it serious.
He was a diva. And he just overtalked, dude. And I told him, wait, you had your turn. Now for 2 hours you didn't let me talk, and you have a guest. You can't be doing that,
Yeah.
And I said, you've been doing podcasts for 5 years. I only been doing podcasts for about 11 months. And when, to me, I did the podcast on, you heard the story of me,
Yeah.
I did the podcast on accident. So what happened was, I did a podcast with George Perez as the 50th episode as the best fan. The fan, because comedian and stuff like that.
That was a good episode, by the way.
Oh, dude, I got a lot of stories.
Dude, I've been trying to get him to listen to George Perez stories for a fucking minute, too.
I need to wait. I'm still binging on other.
Yeah, because he was like, oh, I'm on another series right now. And I'm just like, fuck, dude.
If you want to hear cocaine, pussy, and sex,
dude, that's what I was.
Okay.
Dude, hearing you guys talk about that shit, like, it reminded me of my dad, his fucking friends, my cousins, their fucking friends. I was just like, dude. Yeah. Like, it was just being them, like, back in days, like, they were just irresponsible having a 12-year-old right there. Fucking telling those goddamn stories, and I'm right there, fucking beer in hand, like, dude, this is fucking great.
Yeah.
Because I used to live in Mexico when I was a kid.
Okay.
Fucking, my dad, since he has his business over here and shit, and he's always super fucking busy, my grandpa wanted me over there in Mexico, so I lived in Michoacan. I'm from Villa Morelos, and
I think that's my lady. She's from there too.
No fucking way, dude. Like, dude, fucking, it's crazy. Like, when I talk about Michoacan to certain people, and they're just like, dude, like, oh, I'm from.
When you think of Michoacan, you think Michigan.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was the fucking joke I always had when I was a kid. I'm like, oh, we're going to Michigan? Hell yeah! My cousin, like, mijo, no vamos a Michigan, vamos a Michoacán, cabrón. I'm just like, oh, well, fuck, dude, like, I'm just joking around. I gotta be serious, dude. But, so, because of that, I was always out there. My cousin fucking recently got deported because he's a fucking troublemaker.
What the fuck?
This fool had a fucking, they're born in Mexico, they had their green card, whatever, and they came over here. Pretty much, the penal system, if they fucked up more than 2 times, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
It's not like over here where you get 3 strikes and that's it.
Yeah.
So pretty much him and his older brother both get the fuck out. So because of that, they're all over there. They have their shithead ragtag group of fucking friends, and they're all in their, like, late 20s, early 30s and shit. And they're like, hey, gordo, vente, cabrón, let's go. Get in the back of the truck. And I'm like, okay, cool, fucking waddling my fat ass onto the truck. I'm like, let's do this. Hold on, fool. Don't fall off. I'm good.
The truck stories.
Dude.
In the back, dude, no seatbelts.
No seatbelts, just fucking holding on to anything.
Dude, the last time I went to Mexico, I don't even think the truck had fucking doors.
Oh, dude, my favorite truck story from when I was a kid. There's this fucking 8-year-old kid. This one knew how to drive stick. And I asked him, I'm like, how'd you learn how to drive? He was like, oh, it's because, my dad, he gets fucked up and he wants me to drive his truck back home.
Oh, my God, dude.
One day, we were at my tia's mom's fucking, well, my tia, my uncle's wife. We're at her fucking mom's house. And so we're in some colonia by Apatzingan. And I see the fucking kid driving. He's just fucking barely staring over the steering wheel, fucking,
the clutch?
Yeah, fucking apenas metiendo el pinche clutch, fucking grinding the whole ass gear, and I was just like, hey, Jose, ¿qué pasó, güey? Oh, ahora meño, ¿qué pasó, güey? And I was just like, holy shit, he does know how to drive, dude. Like, I didn't believe him.
Damn.
So seeing that shit,
barely.
I was just like, dude. Mexico, like, not just Mexico, I would say, like, the south central part of Mexico is super irresponsible.
Shit.
When it comes to just not like supervising their kids, but like kids just grow up faster out there, dude.
Did you see that video? I think it happened today. El Chapo's son, he got arrested, right? So the guy who snitched, like, oh, this is him. They found him and they shot up his car and killed that motherfucker.
Oh, fuck, dude,
it was on video, dude. I was like, fuck, they found that motherfucker who snitched.
Do you think what that other stuff was about? The one that it was a family of 12. They lost.
Oh, the Mormons.
Oh, you're talking about this.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what they got caught into?
I mean, if you look back, it's on YouTube. They did a story on Viceland about the Mormons and the cartels, the Mormon cartel war. It goes back in the 50s and 60s. Who was it? Joe Biden or no? Who was some vice president from the, over there things. And that's sad, man.
Yeah.
And they want to fight over because of the land. It was all beautiful. And stuff like that.
I think this happened recently.
Yeah.
This one
this week.
And they were just shot at and burned.
Oh, they if I remember correctly, I was watching the story on ABC. Just typical of me, me and my sister smoking a blunt in the afternoon. So I'm watching ABC and shit. She's like, "Oh, I heard about this. My friend told me." And I guess her friend miscommunicated that it was a Mexican family that got shot. And we're watching. And I was just like, "Dude, that's a whole ass white Mormon family from like Utah, family, dude." Yeah. And she was like, "No, they're supposed to be Mexican." I'm like, "No, like check it out, like watch." And sure enough, they're a Mormon family from Utah. And they had, I guess, one of the SUVs similar in appearance to one of the rival cartel gangs. And because of that, that's why they got shot at.
Oh, but that's the thing, too, though. Because in the story, it says that one of the ladies jumped out of the car saying, "No, there's kids. And
stuff. Yeah, and the kids got shot. And
they still shot at her, though.
One of the younger kids and a few of the siblings made it. And they dipped the fuck out and they ran off. And
it was all big because I heard about it because Trump was talking about it. I was like, that shit's big.
Oh, yeah, definitely. If he's going to fucking comment on something that happened in Mexico, it's a grand situation. And knowing him, he's going to be like, this is exactly why we need the wall and blah, blah, blah.
But see, that's the thing that sucks. Not to make it seem like a race thing, but when it happens to a white family, that's when it's a big deal.
Well, I mean,
and that's the thing I've noticed.
It's kind of understandable because it's an international situation.
But there's Mexicans from here that get fucking killed over there.
No, but think about the Mexicans that got killed here during the El Paso shootings, and the Mexican government was trying to condemn the U.S. government for the situation.
Huh.
So it's kind of like the same thing, but it's just one of those instances where it sucks because they didn't have anything to do with the fucking cartels or anything. Yeah. Well, in probably this case, they're just fucking doing their missionary duties.
Yeah.
For the church, and they got caught in the crossfire, fucking thinking they're a rival cartel, man. Dude.
Yeah.
And dude, in Michoacan, it's fucking crazy. Like one of my dad's cousins. I guess his brother, my tío, we call him my tío fucking Gilberto. They're from Carson.
Yeah.
But he's not really my tío. He's my dad's cousin. His brother, they got him, and I guess it's because he had a new pickup truck.
Yeah, I'm trying to find this episode on Joe Rogan. We were talking about the cartels. This guy worked for the Mexican government and stuff, and I'll send you the link later. I'll find it, but he was talking about all this stuff, the rumors of war, like United States almost invaded, Mexico. So what happened is all these drugs were Mexico's like, well, if you invade us, we'll send you drugs, and what they're gonna do, they were gonna poison the drugs to all over the country. Okay, since you fucked us, we're gonna fuck you and kill a lot of people and shit like that. And there was like some top secret CIA stuff that they were this close to going to war with Mexico, like an invasion. I'll send you. It's in the podcast. I was like, what the
Holy
fuck?
Shit, I gotta check that out, dude.
I'll send it to you guys and shit. I'll send it.
Fuck, this is gonna be hard for me.
It's a good episode.
Because you said it's Joe Rogan. I know he has like maybe 1,000-something episodes under his belt. I gotta binge it.
Did you hear about the one with the commander where he caught the UFO? Like,
oh, dude, I watched that episode.
The commander where he was talking about like he caught it and stuff, like it was on the radar and stuff. Some trippy shit, man.
Oh well, yeah, we had my buddy Billy on the episode of the Graveyard Shift show, and I was like, finally, fuck yeah, dude, I have an opportunity to tell this story because I never wanted to tell the story by myself because I was like, nobody's gonna fucking believe me.
Did you hear the episode with Dan Aykroyd?
Oh, that was a good episode too.
Did you see that one where they talked about where in the 60s and 70s that Neil Armstrong was there? Then they had another radio where it's for different, and he was talking about, well, what do you think about all those spaceships that we saw? Did you hear about that shit? That fucking scared me.
I remember reading about that.
Yeah.
I was probably in third grade. I had asked my third grade teacher because she's from the counterculture movement at the time. I was a smart ass kid growing up, mind you. I'm dumb as shit now. That's the problem with gifted children. They're smart as shit then, dumb as shit later.
No, it's just your IQ stays the same.
Yeah, probably. But so I had asked my teacher about it, and she was just like, "Oh, well, the communications between NASA, they have their closed communication between them and the astronauts, and then they have their public communications that they're broadcasting. What you hear on the broadcast, it's delayed. So a lot of it that they're hearing, it's They hear it first, and then whatever clicks, they'll push it through the broadcast. Whatever doesn't, they keep. So it's kind of like what we do when we record, where we listen, we talk through it. Whatever doesn't really fit the podcast, we can remove it for later, or if not, keep it for us. But dude, fuck, that was a fucking scary ass situation, because she was like, at that moment in the 60s and 70s, the fear was that the Russians were going to communicate with, try to gain communication with the UFOs before us.
The Cold War and all that.
And because of the Cold War and how escalated it was, and how the Russians had got to the moon before we did, it was just a big ass shit show, dude. And a lot of it ended up confidential. A lot of it ended up classified for a long fucking time. Yeah. Up until maybe like the mid 2000s, when a lot of it came out. And dude, a lot of that information that came out was fucking nuts. And that's where a lot of it, like the commander, where he was talking about the spaceship that he had encountered. Yeah. That's declassified information that came out from that era as well. So pretty much anything from under 2005 was declassified, and pretty much.
Did you hear that one in the Joe Rogan with the commander? They said that the shipper was trying to anchor to pick up a missile, and they were trying to pull me up, because there was another UFO spaceship in the bottom trying to grab him and lure him down in the ocean. Shit. And you hear what this? I don't know. This is, dude, man. This is conspiracy shit. They say that a lot of presidents and chancellors and everything, they always go to Antarctica. You hear about that story?
Oh yeah, it all started with mostly FDR back in the days. Eisenhower continued it. Eisenhower is probably one of the most famous cases.
But why do they go there? Because they say now it's like aliens who live there. They have their own like Earth, like that's their Earth, and they have like where they lure them, and it's like, this is what we're gonna do, then this, and they go. That's weird. Kind of presidents or whoever, someone famous, to go to Antarctica. There's nothing out there.
Oh, dude, it's fucking. It's kind of like crazy and scary. The whole thing was with Antarctica too. After Project Paperclip happened, we brought we brought all the Nazis over. A lot of the Nazis that didn't make it through Project Paperclip, they were still transferred pretty much to Southern America, Latino America, and they made their way down to Argentina.
Oh, the whole story. That's the one. Check out the episode with Tim Kennedy. He was doing that, searching for Hitler or something, and he talks about that stuff where they think convinced Hitler was alive. Oh yeah, he faked his own death. Yeah, supposedly after he faked his death in Germany, that he had been transported. Well, supposedly that was a double. Yeah, that he had been transported through one of the submarines to U-boats. Through the U-boats to Latino America, and through Latino America they made their convoy and they went down. And because of that, that's where Dr. Mendel, he did a lot of his experiments and everything with the twins. Yeah, the thing with you put ink, I was like, whoa, what happens if I burn this twin right here? Would this person feel it? And there was one who was a Chilean kid or something like that who was with a German girl, but he survived because they were torturing him. Dr. Mendele, it was trippy. Dr. Mendele, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but it was weird.
A lot of the shit I know about him is because of the last podcast on the left. Have you ever heard that podcast? No. It's like a true crime podcast.
Podcast on the left.
Yeah, it's fucking really good.
Yeah, because I heard, because the reason why they talked about that, because when the Germans started coming to Chile and Argentina, that's where they started helping the Chilean, the dictatorship, and that's where they started killing a lot of people, torturing them, because of the Germans had a lot of info on a lot of stuff, what goes on and stuff like that, because they had their own village and stuff, and what, Good Morgen? Like German stuff, but
that's why Argentina has that weird Spanish.
Yeah.
That fucking my neighbors back in the days when I used to live in Garden Grove. It's weird. When I lived in Anaheim, I lived about fucking a mile away from Disneyland. When I lived in Garden Grove, I lived about a mile away from Disneyland. So it was always easy to get to Disneyland or whatever. But my neighbors, they had this big ass house, so they rented their side house too. So I would always hang out with the side house kid because he was cooler than shit. He had cool toys. I was like, hell yeah, dude, you got fucking Sega Genesis. Let's do this. And the other neighbor kid, he was cool too. He was just kind of weird. And I never realized that they were they're from Argentina because like I would speak Spanish to them, and like his mom would start speaking to me in Spanish. I'm like, oh, slow down. I only understood like half that shit. What'd you say?
And dude, I have that same shit with Salvadorians. Like my aunt, she's Salvadorian, and she fucking talks fast. I'm like, I'm barely learning Spanish. Chill out. Yeah,
so that's how Nicaraguans are too. One of my old bosses at AutoZone.
Do you know the country of Nicaragua? They have one of the most best cigars in the whole world. It used to be Cuba. Now it's Nicaragua.
She knows.
I gotta try it.
She knows. She knew I was a pothead, and she was like, "Mijo, a ver si te puedo traer uno."
But I heard some of those cigars will fuck you up, dude. They'll fuck you up.
Oh, that's the thing though, because a lot of people think that you're supposed to inhale it like cigarettes.
No,
it's just all mouth. You're just supposed to taste it.
I fucked up and did that. Yeah.
Because I've been smoking since I was like 5 years old and stuff.
Another irresponsible Mexican here.
I'm able to smoke a cigar like a cigarette, and then I'm just like, fuck, I need another cigarette.
I used to smoke cigarettes, man. I was like, I can't do it, man. But I crave them once in a blue moon, once a year.
Oh, dude, I'm the same fucking way. Like he would be like, cigarette? And I'm like, no, I'm good. But every now and then I'm like, you know what, fuck it, here.
I'll be like, give me a mota.
No, I'll sit here smoking weed the entire time and fucking like I'll randomly be like, you know what, I need a cigarette right now. Like I just need to fucking like I don't know what it is. Like you just take a hit. I don't think it's the nicotine. I think it's just like the tobacco taste for me.
Yeah.
Like I'd offer you a cigarette just because I get that feeling like I have to do it.
Oh, I'm down if you have a cigarette. I'm down.
I do rollies.
What's that?
That
I roll
old
Oh,
fashioned.
you do the red. Oh, you do the red ones, huh?
Oh no. This is actually a European blend, and I've been.
Dude, OG right there, man.
Yeah.
Fucking rolling cigarettes like he was in fucking 1930s and 40s, dude.
I have to, dude.
Where's your cigarette case at?
What cigarette case? What are you talking about?
Dude, that's crazy, man. So, like, how long you guys been doing podcasts?
I've been podcasting, I'd say in total about 4 years, because I had a podcast before this. I've done like 3 reboots.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
Who was the first podcast you listened to? What was your first podcast?
My very first podcast was ICS, the Ice Cream Social, with Matt Mattingly, Matt Donnelly, Paul Mattingly, and Jacob, the audio guy. I don't know his fucking last name.
I think my first podcast I listened to was like The Fighter and the Kid.
The Fighter and the Kid.
Then Joe Rogan. Then it went from Joe Rogan to Joey Coco Diaz. You know, and that's where when Joe Rogan had George Perez on the podcast, Joe Rogan said, "Hey, you should do a podcast." So I was like, "Oh, this guy's pretty cool." And I waited like a month, and he started a podcast and stuff, and that's where it trickled down. Where he had thanks. Hold on, get a little light.
Don't hit it like a joint though. It may look like one, but I have to tell people because I seen people just fucking inhale like a motherfucker.
Like Fabio?
Yeah. Fucking, we had a guy, I told him, don't hit it like a joint. He still did it. He's like, like lung hit.
Started coughing a lung out.
And I was like, dude, no.
Yeah, so, I know. Yeah, he fucked up. So when George Perez was getting all these different types of guests, you know, like Felipe Esparza, Martin Moreno, I didn't know who they were, but maybe you guys did, but I didn't know who they were. And when I heard their podcast and it trickled down to another more podcasts and more and more, it was like, fuck, it was a lot. There's a lot of good podcasts. You just have to find it.
Yeah, dude, definitely.
It's a lot because, you know, on Instagram, do you guys get a lot of people who follow you who have different podcasts? Hey, check mine out. You can hear them, but some are good, some are not.
I have never gotten anyone telling me to check out their podcast, but No Father, No Problem ended up.
They're good.
They ended up following me, And I'm like, hey, wait, these are the guys that fucking Megaman has on and
shit.
Are they from Claremont?
Okay, one lives in Upland. Frank, Upland. And Chinook, he lives in West Covina.
Okay. Oh, so they're local.
So yeah. I think it might be Frank. I'm not sure.
Frank,
but one of the dudes looks so familiar to me.
The one with the glasses, and he does comedy. That's the one. He's like, yeah, Frank. Chinook is the drunky one, the short chunky with the slippers. I mean, but they do their podcast in East LA at a park, at a Obregon Park.
Oh, is that where you guys were?
Yeah. So I heard their podcast. I didn't know who they were. So Alpha Robles. So when Martin Moreno and Felipe, they all, and Alpha Robles, Alpha Robles, he follows me, like, he's like, hey, bro, I'm going to start a podcast. I was like, okay, cool. Like, hey, let me know if you want to do a podcast. What's up? So he did it, but he hasn't done a podcast since June. So he wanted to bring his childhood friends, like Frank, Chinook, and some other. And it was a good episode. I was like, whoa, wow. Then all of a sudden, like, yeah, we're going to start our own podcast called No Father, No Problem. So I quickly, heard it. I was like, they got something. They have something here. They just got to work on it a little bit. Then they got it. Then they started doing like, hey, let's do some stories how we do in East LA and all that. And it went from there. And it was really good.
See, that's rad. That was the thing for me that makes me want to listen to their stuff, because I heard East LA. And I was born in East LA.
What part? Like in what city?
LA.
I know, like City of Terrace,
I was
El Sereno,
by First Street, like First Street Elementary and all that. That's where I was born. I was born in White Memorial.
Okay.
And hearing the people that you've had saying, "Oh, I'm from East LA. I'm from East LA," I'm like, holy shit. I'm from East LA. Does that mean I'm gonna be famous?
I mean, ever since No Father, No Problem, I've been giving so much love, because that podcast right there, that's like a diamond in the rough right there. Like, it's original. Like, like for me, my podcast, I'll be honest, scale from 1 to 10, I felt like my podcast is like a 4, 5.
Oh, dude, I feel like our podcast is fucking under that shit.
Yeah, like a 2 or 3.
Yeah, because there's other people's podcasts. So like when I took the time off for 3 months to do my podcast, I just like, you know what? I don't want to put a lot of episodes. Let me take a couple months off, because I need to redo the episode, because I did a lot of errors. I cussed a lot. I was anxious, like that. Or sometimes I would be like, just, I don't know. I just
the whole thing for you. Why do you? I guess it wouldn't be censoring yourself, but why do you keep yourself from cussing?
Because
is it for sponsor sake or
no? Because you lose numbers like that. You lose followers. Like, hey, Mega Man, like, can you do less cussing? Because it's a lot. Because there was
they want the work friendly stuff.
I could cuss a little bit, but there was a person who listened to it. It's like on one episode, hey, Mega Man, I counted. You said fuck about 60-70 times in an hour and 30 minutes.
God damn.
No lie, I recently got that from the owner from a smoke shop that I go to,
which translates about fuck every 2 minutes.
Yeah. I got that from her. She's like, oh, I finally listened to your podcast and stuff. I'm like, oh, what'd you think? You cuss a lot. I'm like, oh, shit.
See, that's why you gotta show them the venue.
I know.
Yeah. See, with the venue, like I don't know if we did it like without thinking about it, but like it's more accessible because we're not cussing as much.
Yeah,
we're not talking about raunchy ass things, and more. Okay. Well, since it's music based, we're asking music derived questions, and a lot of it, like the first episode I did with him. When I came in hard. I was just like, I was late to that episode.
He was late to a couple episodes. Like you can hear him in the middle of the episode.
And I had about like a whole bunch of sponsors that didn't want me because, can you stay at this criteria? Can you stay at talking about beers? Can you stay at this? And I said no. And there were times like, hey, we'll sponsor you, we'll help you out, but don't do this, don't do that. I said, I'm sorry. I'm like a zebra. I do what I want. I'm a maverick. I'm independent.
Oh, dude, that's the reason. Like, I'll say, like, yeah, I want sponsors and stuff, but they take me as I am, or they don't take me at all.
Exactly.
Because the reason I started this whole platform and stuff is because I got tired of seeing like TV and all that, everything getting censored. And it's like, no, dude, what the fuck? The First Amendment, like, freedom of fucking speech.
Oh, and they kind of got mad at me because I kind of censored them. But it was just a little bit, off-kilter jokes. And I was like, these need to stop. Or, between you guys, like, before the podcast, it's fucking funny.
You ever have, like, people, like, this happened when I was in the early stage, like, doing a podcast. I was just calling people out, like, hey, you this? And all of a sudden, like, someone left a note on my window and keyed my car.
Holy shit.
I have a key or like that. I said, hey, I heard your episode. Fuck you. And he's like, how'd you find out where I lived? Like whatever. There's weird people like that, and it's just when you get to the podcast, they think like, like, is it serious? Is it not? But you might have those trolls. They say, oh, fuck your podcast.
Yeah. And that's why, like in the podcast description and stuff, I'll put like, well, for the whole podcast itself, like the iTunes description, all that, it says that it's fucking satire, and none of it should really be taken seriously.
Yeah, because
it's a comedy podcast.
Some people. I'm sorry. Some people do. They take it serious, But when you have people that tell you, "Oh, I can do a podcast," well, you don't want to be an asshole and be like, oh, fuck you. Like, well, go do it. Don't talk about it. Be about it.
Oh, dude, I'm a big advocate when it comes to that. Like, if someone's like, oh, I want to start a podcast and stuff, like, do you have any tips? I'm like, yeah, I got tips. I'll tell them, and I'll be like, fuck it, do you want me to record you?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I'm willing to. I think what they're doing is because I feel like they want the easy way. They don't want to go through the grind.
Everyone wants to be a Joe Rogan without doing the Joe Rogan grind.
So I heard an episode, No Father, No Problem. They had Chicano Shuffles on, and Chicano Shuffles is a big podcast, And they said for you to get your podcast out there, like to be well known, it takes about 2 years. It was like what the fuck, and podcast it's a grind.
Oh yeah, dude. That's why that one person when we went to the show, I was like, you listen to a podcast, bro? Fuck yeah, thank you.
Oh yeah, we recently went to a hardcore show.
Yeah,
and I did my typical thing. I went out and I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Chris. I do a fucking podcast, do the venue and stuff. And he's like, wait, yeah, you had Traditions on and stuff. I'm like, yeah, this dude fucking like 30 feet away. Wait, you're a listener? Like,
literally over the fucking fence. I'm just like, dude, fuck yeah, thank you, bro.
I would get like I would get like a whole bunch of like girls like sending me naked pictures, dude. Did I tell you what happened? Okay, a while back, before I met my lady, this is like last year, there was a girl from Arizona. I will call her out. Nicole, you know who you are, girl. She sent me. She tagged me, but she put me as a DM on a. When it says view photo or view video.
Yeah.
I clicked on it, and all you see in the background is the Megaman's podcast. Then all of a sudden the phone turns and she's like butt naked, like rubbing her cheek. She's like licking it and she's listening to the podcast. I was like, motherfucker, dude, savages, dude. I would get a lot of fat girl like pictures, like, dude, fuck that, dude. And I would get a lot of girls from San Bernardino.
All those scuzzy assholes, dude. You know what it was? It was those first few episodes you talking about the Craigslist hookups.
Yeah. There was one episode that it got deleted.
Oh no shit.
Someone reported it and they deleted it.
What the fuck?
First time ever I got 3 episodes deleted. If you go to way in the bottom and there's like certain episodes missing, those were reported.
Fuck.
So one episode, I think it was episode 4, I talked about like my friends with benefits, my hookups, my sex.
I fucking remember that episode,
the online dating. Then all of a sudden it's like, this is too graphic. I went deep and I was like, fuck,
Well, shit, was that the episode with the couch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the episode with the couch. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah. Well, because I was hooking up with a girl and then she fucking like doing anal and you fucking shit on my fucking my couch and then stake my house for fucking 3 or 4 days and shit. And my kids were at school. My kids like, oh, who fucking farted, dude? And I didn't look at her. Just like, it's like I'll never do anal on a girl ever again, dude. It was like, yeah, no anal on Asian girls. Trust me, the whole urban legend with the slanted pussies, it's all false. No slanted pussies. They got hairy pussies. It's like it's crazy, man. Dude. It's those were that, and that's where it got deleted and stuff, you know. And that's where people were hearing the first episodes, and that's where a lot of my sponsors are telling me, like, hey, we heard that, we don't want to sponsor you.
How long ago was that? Because you saw the story I posted that in under a month I fucking finished all your shit, and I'm like, fuck, this sucks. But I noticed there was no number 1, no number 4, and I think no number 6.
Those are the ones that were deleted. I think someone reported and they deleted them.
No wonder why when I told you the story, you didn't fucking get it, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the
It was deleted. Ones. So what happened is I found my I put an episode of the last episode of episode 1.
Oh.
I found it. You know, it was like in one of my archives. It's like, oh, I found it. So what happened when I first started the podcast? Martin Rizzo, he invited me on, and he showed me how to do it, Anchor, and all that stuff. Then all of a sudden, I tried doing it. It's like, you know what? I don't want to do it no more because I was doing it for 2 days, you know, with this podcast, like, you know. And so what I fucked up is I put an intro and an episode 1 together.
Oh no shit!
It was like crappy. It was only for like 36 minutes. And I was like, what am I going to talk about or this? Because, you know when you listen to podcasts, you're like, okay, I didn't know I had like, hey, welcome to the podcast. It's like corny as fuck, dude. And I heard it and I put the last episode and people are like, damn, you came a long way.
No lie, I felt called out on that. Because I literally did that for the intro.
For reals?
Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the Double Trouble.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for you, you've been doing that shit for so many years. You're just a fucking...
Yeah.
It's like a footnote. You got to hit that footnote, and then it's everything else.
Yeah. Out of all those episodes, I had a lot of good episodes, but I had 2 bad... No, I'll take that back. I'll give him a chance. No, 2 episodes that were really, really bad. I'll call them out. They live over here in Inland Empire, craft beer groupies. Yeah, they're super fake as fuck, you know. And Mario Cruz. He does the writing. He does all the drawings for Felipe and all that. Yeah. This guy This guy came from Atlanta, and he let him stay at my house. At the same time he let him stay at my house, he was like talking shit, you know, like whatever. And he's doing a podcast. He was just like, this guy's like a two-face. But at the same time, this guy got fucking homesick. He's like, I miss my wife. He was all fucking crying. My son, he was 9 years old at the time. He's like, hey, Dad. It's like, what? It's some bitch-ass crying in the living room. He's like, look. And he was like crying.
Is that the oldest?
No, the youngest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was like, I told, and for some reason, Mario Cruz was like a hater and fucking blocked me and deleted me because he got butthurt. Because I put him on blast. He was talking a lot of shit, you know?
Yeah.
So he was on the Martino Huda Moreno, like, you know, whatever, on the, you know, the users where they comment and all that. I said, Mario Cruz, you're by far the worst guest ever on the Megaman's podcast.
Jeez.
This guy would overtalk. There's no periods with him. And he's like, how do I do? He said, you suck. You suck, Tig. And I told him, this is the reason why I would never have fan guests on.
Jeez.
Yeah. I had like fan guests, they get like, oh, you know, like, you know, and all that stuff. So I would, because of him, I can't have no fans on no more. Yeah. So, but when I did the podcast, I was trying to find my rhythm. It's hard.
Yeah, dude.
You know, because I won't mention, but there were some people who try to sabotage or give you bad advice because they want to build their ego and make you look bad. But it was the opposite, where little by little the podcast was growing and be like, oh fuck, you know, what do I do? And I was trying to find my way. So what I was trying to do is like, how am I gonna make the podcast better? I was going on YouTube like, hey, how do you talk, you know, because I have a stuttering problem, so that makes it like 5 times more harder to do the podcast.
Shit,
I actually had to teach my buddy, the other co-host,
Richard, which, going back to what you're just saying, motherfucker talks all this shit, trying to sabotage us, asshole.
I actually had to teach him
we love
how to
him,
do
though.
the
we love you, Richard.
podcast because when we first started, it would literally be me doing the intro, how I do it, and then him, Richard, and I'm like, no, dude, fucking, you know what? Fuck it, we're not gonna record today. I'm gonna show you how to fucking talk. So don't talk to the microphone, talk to me. And I put the microphone between us. And I'm like, talk to me. So that helped him project more. He was able to speak more. And I'm like, do the fucking, you know, like improv shit, you know, from the tip of the tongue to the teeth to the lips. Just do that. Keep doing it. He's like, how is that gonna help? It's gonna help you enunciate. That's what you need. If you want, fucking exaggerate your mouth. You literally go, hey, what's up, guys? You know, and fucking move your mouth, exaggerate that shit.
Yeah,
because that's what's gonna help you talk better. And now he's finally in that stage where he'll talk. He talks louder now.
Yeah.
And you know, it took fucking 4 years, but
yeah. When I had a lot of people DM me like, oh, look at Megaman, like you're just getting help from the like Felipe, George, and whatever. But to me, I didn't want that. Like they would give me advice, do it this way, like, you know, like Felipe, George, Martin, Hooter, No Father, you know, you got Sergio from Deuce from LA's podcast, Beto Duran, Living the Dream. And Aaron Bender, Newsbender podcast. That's a good fucking podcast.
I need to listen to that now.
Yeah, it's a new Newsbender podcast. Beto Duran, I DM'd like, hey, you should do this way, you should do this, and you just want to make the podcast better, you know, because they're gonna feel like, oh, Megaman, he gets help from them. But to me, I don't want their help. I'll take their advice, but to me, I want them to see the grind that I've been doing because, you know, if I don't have a home base. Like I'm eventually trying to save up to get my own place, but also at the same time I'm saving up to get a studio. To start networking.
Dude, that's my fucking dream.
That's the dream, you know. Like you want to start networking and all that stuff because
I say later to this fucking place, like fuck you guys. Basically, the same story with me moving out from here because this is where I used to live. The old lady, fucking Gilbert, that's what I call her.
Who lives here?
My brother.
Oh.
And it started off with her telling me, oh, you know, you got to pay a light bill, this, and that. I'm like, okay. And sometimes I'd get mad, have my little fucking tantrum. And I'm like, you guys aren't paying for the light. So I'd turn off the switch from the main. And I'm like, no one uses it.
Yeah.
And she got to the point where she's like, you know what? You got to pay rent. You guys been living here, this, and that. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. I'll show you. I moved out. Now I'm paying $8.50 for rent.
Yeah, that's the thing I just need is just a home base. But me and my girl were saving up, and my girl's like, "Why you want to get a 4-bedroom?" It's like, well, I have one for if my daughter comes or for the boys, but I want a studio room where I can make it to a studio, but also to like she does yoga and stuff like that, you know. But I want a studio so really bad. So when you gotta keep it professional. What happens if you want to get a bigger guest, you know? Yeah. But it's something where should I do it at my house or should I just get a commercial studio?
See, and that's kind of the thing with us right now. Because, at my house, we have 2 empty bedrooms. But right now, my buddy, he's going through some shit with his mom and his sister or whatever.
Yeah.
So they moved out, and they asked me if they could stay at my house. So I was like, you know what, dude? You know, fucking, we've been best friends since high school. I was like, come through, dude. I don't look old.
No.
But,
hell no, man.
I'm 28. I'm 28.
Dude, I'm fucking 40, man. You look like you're freaking 19, dog.
I hate that shit. I probably look older than you.
Fuck, man.
Shit, dude. So,
I'm the youngest one.
You look like Che, dude.
Dude, if I let my hair down, we have this thing where I've said my brother looks like fucking Felipe.
Oh shit!
Fucking, I'm like, dog. Both of you guys look like different stages of Felipe. Don't lie to me.
Let me take a picture, but not Felipe.
Hashtag that shit.
Oh, dude, fucking, I'm just because
who would post that shit too.
I would always make fun. I would always make fun of him. I was just like, Daddy, I want cereal. Daddy, that old ass Felipe bit.
Tell nobody.
that old ass Felipe bit, and I would make fun of him. And then, like, this is when I first started doing podcasting with him. Probably, like, 2-3 weeks later, he's like, dude, I fucking hate you so much right now. And I'm like, why? He was like, the fucking kids came up to me one morning like, Daddy, I'm hungry. Daddy, I want cereal. I was like, they did not hit you with that shit. He was like, dude, they fucking didn't. I kind of wanted to get really fucking mad and yell at them. But I knew damn well it wasn't their joke. It was your fucking joke. But I'm just like, nah, it wasn't mine, dog. That's Felipe.
So now I gotta go and talk shit to Felipe.
I'm like, you want to get mad at somebody for that daddy and cereal shit? You better get mad at Felipe.
Felipe is hilarious, man. And
he is. And dude, I fucking posted some shit. Because it was that whole not Felipe thing, and I talked shit to Felipe. I'm like, dude, it's pissing me off. You look too much like a brother. My bad. You look too much like my brother. I've been trying to hit you up to go camping. And I'm like, fuck.
What'd he say?
Nothing. He didn't reply back.
Did he see it?
I'm not sure. I'm just like, fuck.
Oh, you just commented on the picture and shit?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. If you DM him, he'll probably see it and stuff.
But yeah, because my brother, that's exactly what the fuck he looked like.
When he had long ass hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I actually look at the fucking picture. I'm like, oh, that's my brother. Fucking let me message him real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dude, let's go camping, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But so you were saying earlier, you didn't know who Martin was. You didn't know who.
I didn't know who
Felipe was.
I didn't know because when George Perez, I was like, when Felipe came on, I was like, he said, "What's up, fool?" Like, who the fuck's this guy? It's hilarious, and he was like talking about like, he used to work at Dodger Stadium. He lost his virginity. Some girl who came from Huntington Beach. Then Martin, he was from the same city of Wilmington. I used to live in Wilmington. Like he lived like a block away from me.
Fuck, dude, that's crazy.
Like and all that. His son and I was like, because when I first met, I listened to podcasts when I seen Martin and Hooter and stuff. They were kind of curious, like, what part of the street you from and this. And he was like, oh, it's making sense. And Hooter was like saying to his dad, oh, this is the Megaman. This is the one who was on George Perez. This is the crazy motherfucker. And all that. And it trickled down. Then I met all these different types of comedians and celebrities and all that. Then I met like Tanya Estrada. She was my first celebrity guest on the Megaman's podcast.
Dude, that's fucking rad.
She was so... Dude, she's fucking hot.
Oh, no, I know. Trust me. Every time I see her, I'm like, bro, how come... Like, she's like channeling that inner Selena with her outfits. And I'm just like, oof. I was like, if I was like fucking 13 years older, I would have been like, what's up?
Yeah. And she was super nice. And I'm having the hood footy. And there's different types. And with the inner circle with Felipe, Martin, and George, I met like a lot of good people, some not okay, but I met a lot more from the podcast, from the beer scenes and this. And I met some other, I had a guest on recently, Dalosa, know? Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I've heard that episode yet.
I think it's like 102, 103, one of those.
I did that. Yeah,
Dalosa. And dude, baby, I fucking love you, but I used to have a crush on her ass. I was like, yeah, because she's Colombian.
Oh, Diosa,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's like, cause she does a stand-up comedian and she does activist and political, and she has a podcast.
Wait, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Oh shit, dude. Yeah, she's pretty hot.
Yeah, see.
Yeah.
Like, I have a thing for older chicks. I don't know what. Like, that's always been my curse as a young fucking looking motherfucker.
Yeah.
I was like 17, hooking up with the 23-year-old back in days and shit.
And
I would always tell her, I'm like, dude, I'm 18. Don't trip. The day I turned 18, I was like, I'm 18.
I was supposed to have this hot like Mexican girl. She's from Long Beach called yours truly Sin, like this. She was all chichied up like that, and I want to have her, and my girl was like, why you gonna have this fucking bitch on, dude? I was like, why? It was like, what do you mean? All she gonna do is talk about her ass and her titties, and all that, and then whatever, nothing to talk about.
It's the month of ass and titty.
I said, hey, I need some more. I need to build my numbers up. I need some more ladies to build my numbers, because I can't have it all guys. So that's I've been kind of mixing up with women and stuff like that. Just
that's
whatever
good,
I can bring.
Dude. Yeah, dude, that's
you gotta mix it up, man.
Oh, I totally get it. My wife gets like that too. She's like, who are you gonna have on the podcast and stuff? I'm like, oh, it's typical people,
Mm-hmm.
And she had gotten mad before and stuff, and I'm like, I'm gonna have girls if they're funny and shit.
Eventually, we're gonna have a girl band.
Oh yeah,
the venue
I'm waiting.
Eventually too.
I'm waiting for that shit. And I straight up told her, I'm like, this is the fucking podcast. This is how it's gonna be. So, You can get mad all you want, but I'm gonna do it.
When I had some podcasters, and when I had the Losa on, and I had UB2, people were telling me like, you guys make a good couple. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, you guys match up. Be like, you guys are same alike. You know, the energy, the flow, like. But but it's professional. It's like just a guess to me. You know, like whatever.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you know, they never even know. Everyone knows I'm taking. You know, like I have a baby.
Which I was gonna ask, how's your family?
Yeah, everyone. She's good. You know, my girl's a little mad right now. She's like, "You said you're not gonna do no more podcasts." It's like, well, I gotta do some. You know, just because if I stop doing podcasts, take a break, my numbers will be low, and you have to stay consistent.
You don't have any bank episodes?
It's hard to pick up that.
I had 40. I had 46 bank archive. You already reused them up. I was gone. I was not doing podcasts for about 4 months. The reason why I did a whole bunch of them is that I want to take time off, because knowing the fact my lady was pregnant, she had a baby, I wanted to be there and take care of the baby and stuff. So before, I was always gone, doing the podcast. 1 week alone, no lie, I did about 13 to maybe 15 podcasts in 1 week.
God damn.
I was doing 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, like a whole bunch, because I took 2 weeks off. So I was banging. I'm like, okay, got 15. Like, cool. And I can just put 2 out. And, if you do the math, that's like, what, 8? I was kind of thinking, like, man, should I do like 60 podcasts and just bang them out? Like, do 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. If you do the math, that's 8. You times that, like, like another 8. That's like 8 months worth of material right there. If you do about 2 episodes a week, and all that.
Well, the only shit that's bad about that I think would be bad is you take all that time off, then you're gonna get rusty again.
That's what I feel what happened today with Rafa. I was a little nervous and everything. So when I heard the episode of Rafa, I deleted maybe altogether about like 5 minutes of it. In the beginning, I was like, okay, this is how rusty. When I used to do the podcast every day, I was in a rhythm. I was in a like beast mode, like a flow,
And you said you've been doing this for about 11 months.
Almost a year now, because now October 13th, which it's already passed. It's
right.
already been 1 year.
It's been a year,
but I get good and bad reviews. It's like 100 episodes in 1 year. That's a lot. And there's podcasters who do like 100, and it takes them about 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, what am I doing wrong? I don't know why.
Dude, it you know what it is? It's just some people don't have that drive, or that, a lot of people, they don't want to, because people do use dated material. So because of that, they're using shit from 1 week, and they're like, okay, let's talk about the material that happened this week. So because of that, they're talking about like press releases. And that's why, like, for a few of the episodes that we do, we try not to date it. Where we're not talking about shit that's relevant this week that's going to be irrelevant next week,
that's what I try to do. So what I was trying to do with that, because if someone, like, let's say, for example, like this, I did an episode and it was like 6 months back. What I would do is like, hey, we're going to take a break. Hey, what's up, everyone? Megaman here. Talk about something recent in the middle of it. Then say, okay, let's get back to the episode. Yeah. It would kind of like trick the people, but in a way, it's like it's the episode is old, but in the middle of it, we take a break. I talked about something recent, what's going on, just to make it more like, okay, something like that.
That's good though.
Yeah, but it's cool, but in a way, it's like I'm just doing my podcast. I'm just doing me and stuff. And if people don't like that, I'm putting too much content. Maybe it's not me. Maybe it's them.
Oh no, it's always going to be them, because it's your podcast. You dictate how you want it to be done. It's not. Oh yeah, you can take into consideration the listeners and stuff, but in the end, you're the one putting the work. You're the one getting the people. You're the one posting it. So it's all up to you.
Like having guests, that's the hard part. Like the podcast, everything is easy. The editing, the social, it's the guests.
Yeah.
Because what happens if you try to get a guest in the last minute? Hey, I don't want to do your podcast. I can't make it. You gotta have a plan B. You gotta have plan C and D.
Oh yeah.
And stuff, because you don't ever know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So this happened to me about 5 times. Oh, tomorrow I'm gonna have this so and so on my podcast, and all of a sudden the last minute, I can't do your podcast. I'm not with that. And I'm like, fuck, that happened to me. So now I want to make sure, like, hey, I'm gonna get you on. Are we still on? Like, I would let them know a week ahead of time or a week, because if they say, yeah, we're still on, I want to make sure, because I don't want you to change your mind, because they kind of get cold feet or nervous.
Yeah.
Or then they don't know the podcast, and they don't know, like, and that's the thing, like, when you have guests on, I like to have my guests and meet them maybe a month before. Like, hey, let's have dinner. Let's go. I want to meet up. I want to get the flow. I want to know what you're all about. So when they do the podcast, we already have a rhythm.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't do that.
Okay, I didn't fucking do it. I just hit you up. I'm like, hey, how can I get you on the podcast?
He was fucking hitting you up like a Tinder date. Like, what's up, bro? You want to come through?
Well, I swiped right.
Well, I gave him my number because I was working. I was telling him and all this stuff, and he was like, what the fuck? Because I letting him know, like, because I wanted to be honest with him. Like, when you get in the podcast, like, this is what this and this. Because a lot of people was like, hey, how do you do it? And this is like, because I have this wacky mind where I think I have ADD, where when I'm doing the podcast, I don't know when to stop. And I got social media, I got this. I have my rhythm. It's like a fucking madness, you know. Like, I can't teach that to someone because they might this is too much, you know. But if they have the help with who's handling their social media, their editing and all that, then that's all good. But to me, I want to know everything what goes on with me. So sometimes my lady, she controls my social media with my Megaman Podcast. And if I'm sleeping, say, hey, what do you think of this person? DM me. What do you think about this person? So I'll look. It's like, yes, maybe, no, you know? And I would just tell them, like, well, DM, like, see what they're all about and stuff, you know? Because you'll get random people like, hey, I just want to do your podcast. What? Why? What's the purpose? So now when I have a guest on, I interview them. Like, what are you about? What am I going to get in return? Is it about the numbers? Is it because you just want to come on? Are you real? Are you fake? I don't want none of that drama. That happened one time on the episode 99. I had that beer, though. It's a girl. So I had about 20 to 40 DMs of haters, trolls, talking shit like, fuck her, you don't need this. And there was this girl
and it was probably a bunch of sucias just pissed off because it's not them. It
was girls, and also this girl, I will call her out because I had to block her. Brewdolls, are we good?
Yep.
Okay. Brewdolls, she was like, fuck her, you don't need her, fucking all that. She was just a hater and shit. And I didn't know that my guest, after for a while, she took off her social media, and I was like, hey, are you okay? He's like, yeah. Because she had anxiety. She gets cyberbullied a lot.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's sad, man.
That's fucking fucked up, dude. That someone go out their goddamn way just talk shit.
Yeah.
Like on the internet. Like, fuck, come on, dude. Like,
and this fucking bitch who I blocked, you know, and everything. It's like, hey, you know, are cool. And all of a sudden, she go cries to certain people. I won't mention names because they probably hear this podcast. And he's like, hey, Megan, I talk to you. He's like, hey, what the fuck happened, dude? Like, hey, that girl's a fucking cyberbully, dude. Straight up, dude. Like, there's two faces, you know?
Oh, yeah.
When you meet, like, a random people, like, you have to really watch who you know. Like how I am, this is how I am. I'm cool with you guys, but off air, this is how I'm still going to be, like, all love.
Oh, yeah.
There's people who just want to come on just to get their numbers. I want to get those likes. I want to get those numbers or whatever, but who gives a fuck about that, you know?
Dude.
I give a fuck about you, not your numbers. Because what happens if Instagram crashes? Like, where's all your numbers now?
Exactly. And it's like, you know, with him, when I was telling him about what I want to do with my podcast, it's like, I have a lot of friends that drift. I have a lot of friends that are in extreme sports, and they do a lot of crazy shit. And then, you know, I just stood idly by, fucking taking pictures, whatever.
Yeah.
So I did live a part of that, and I do drift too. But, you know, I
Tokyo drift.
Yeah, you know, with the Volvo, but, you know, it's whatever.
Volvo, that's my dad's. I remember, man. I had a BMW. Then my mom crashed it. We had our next car was a Volvo.
What kind of Volvo do you guys have?
It was dude. This is like an 88, 89.
Oh, dude,
I remember the Volvo was the shit.
Was it a wagon?
I don't know. It was like a 4-door. It was a wagon. But I remember my dad used to fix that shit. What the fuck you get that shit, dude?
Dude, the fucking I had an 86 and an 89 Volvo 740 and a 760. One was wagon, one was sedan, and it was a red and blue. You know, so the blue one was the wagon, red one was sedan. And they both ripped ass and everything, little single cam turbo, whatever. But we're always fixing those stupid ass cars.
Yeah,
dude.
what the fuck,
dude? Like shit would just break, and we'd be like, "What the fuck is it today?" And it's an '80s car, so you're just like, "Okay,
this is worse than a Hyundai,
dude." With the Hyundai, you could fucking plug it into a computer, and the computer's like, "All right, todo se chingó. Like everything's fucked. Get rid of the car."
Fuck that.
The fucking Volvo, you're just like, I don't know what it is, dog.
Fucking hit it with a hammer. Okay, it's working now.
What'd you hit? I gotta know.
Oh man,
dude. Yeah, those cars are headaches. I fucking I gave one to my buddy from he lives in Canada. He's a drifter. He fucking literally all he drifts is just Volvos. So because of that, I was like, hey, dude, fucking we might be getting kicked out of the house. Do you want my Volvo? I don't want to junk it, and I don't want, I'd rather fucking give it to somebody than get the fucking $150 from Pick Apart.
Fuck that.
So I told him, I'm like, come pick this bitch up, and fucking he took it, and it ended up staying at my buddy Anthony's house in Bakersfield, and fucking, dude, these fools ended up starting it somehow again, and fucking just drifting the shit out of it for like a weekend, and then after that, it didn't start again. And like I'm fine.
He blew the transmission.
No, the transmission was fine. He fucking pulled the transmission out and he swapped it into a white wagon that he had bought from I guess it was his first white wagon, my buddy Anthony, that he had bought back in the days. He had sold it for like $800, and then he had found it again from the same fucking dude he had sold it to. And the dude was a fucking asshole. He was like, give me $1,200. I've been taking care of it.
Taking care
in
of
Bakersfield?
Yeah, Bakersfield. I'm
like,
but
tweakers out there, dude.
Dude, swear to God, I was like, bro, you could have fucking gave him like a 20 sack of fucking dope and like a fucking like
or a fucking tweaker hooker
or a $50 EBT card. You would have been cool, bro.
Shit, I've been cool with EBT, man. You go a long way, dude. Either it's food stamps or cash. If it's food stamps, $50. If it's cash, you get only fucking 30.
Yeah, dude. So this motherfucker bought that shit. He had swapped the transmission and everything, and I kind of got mad. I'm like, bro, you guys use my old fucking wagon as a parts car? He was like, we couldn't figure out the motor. Fuck that shit. I'm like, whatever. I feel it. That shit had gremlins. The tags were bad for like fucking 10 years. 10-year-old tags and shit. I was like, I fucking feel it, bro. Do whatever you got to do. Just paint it blue again or something. But that motherfucker took that shit, and these fools did a bunch of like YouTube videos with it. And I'm like, at least she lived on, dude. I'm happy. Fucking old Volvo got a last hurrah.
That's crazy, man.
And then I missed the Volvo too much, and I bought another Volvo. I was like, I need another rear-wheel drive one. This front-wheel drive shit ain't doing it.
Yeah.
I need to drift something, dude. Shit ain't the same.
It's crazy,
well,
man.
shit. With that being said, we've gone over our time limit a little bit.
Yeah, we
So, do you want to plug anything?
Like I'm gonna put out the episode. I mean, when is this episode gonna come out?
Probably Monday.
Monday
Sunday or Monday.
Okay, then I'm gonna put the episode out with Rafa. And the following week I'm gonna put Bipolar Thread, Larry. There's more episodes to come, little by little. I'm probably gonna be doing about 3 episodes a month. So put one out a week and stuff like that. So the last week of the month, I'm just gonna take a break, family time and all that.
Yeah, for sure.
But and everything. Then in next year, I'm gonna be going grinding hardcore. But I just want to give a shout out. I mean, thank you for letting me come on the podcast, man. This was a good episode.
Coming. Thank you, dude.
It was
for
good.
Coming, dude.
It was good. It was
nice
like,
talking to you.
dude, I'm not even buzzed. I got water. I thought we do. I thought, hey, the flow of this episode was really, really good. I mean, I liked it, man. I mean, if you ever want me to come on, just let me know ahead of time and stuff.
Oh, for sure.
Fuck yeah, dude. If anything, we'll go over to you if we have to.
Yeah, we'll go. Hey, maybe we'll do the podcast at a brewery or something.
Dude, let us know. We'll bring shit over.
You down with that?
As long as we got outlets to plug into, we're fine.
Yeah, we can do whatever. Liberation. If you ever want to do the podcast, we can do the podcast at Liberation's Brewery. They have open arms, and we can do the podcast there and stuff like that.
Sure. Yeah, dude.
We can probably hook up with free beers.
If you ever want to fucking have us on yours and shit,
yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll link up and stuff like that. I know November and maybe December I'm a little busy. Then Christmas.
Same here, dude.
I know, but I just want to say thank you for for letting me come on your podcast. I just want to give a shout out to No Father No Problem, Surgeon from Deuce from Ellie's podcast. My girl Cynthia, my boys Emiliano, Gavin, and Alex, my daughter Luna, Daddy Loves You, And again, like I said, man, thank you for letting me come on your podcast.
Oh, no fucking problem, dude.
It was good.
Hell yeah, thank you, man.
We need a part 2.
Yeah, we do need a part 2.
We need a part 2.
Yeah.
Damn, if you had the time, we'd fucking keep going.
Yeah. It's just like, I have because I have to do a podcast tomorrow with Bipolar Thread at 9 o'clock, because that's one of the reasons why if I do the podcast, I would go back to Long Beach and this. So I'm going to crash at my boy George from Roscoe's, Vice President, VP, baby. Yeah, but other than that, man, again, thank you so much.
All right, where can they follow you?
You can follow me at the Megaman Podcast on Instagram or my personal page, Megaman6980. Ladies, stop sending me fucking naked pictures. I don't want to see you getting ass fucked by different strangers. Like, this could have been you, Megaman, but I had to get a stranger. Stranger danger. I don't want none of that shit, dude. Fat girls, stop leaving me fucking pictures, man. I counted fucking 4 or 5 rows. You have to look. One of the girls who sent me a picture. Don't even lift up your gut, girl. That thing's stinky already, dude. Leave that shit. I don't want none of that. That's none of that.
Gessel.
Her fucking gut's bigger than the titties and
Hell
shit.
no. It smells like fucking pepper jack cheese and shit. Fuck that.
Fuck.
But there's some savages out there, and also people. There's couples. I don't do that shit no more on Craigslist. I don't swing. I'm not into fucking swingers. That was an experiment. That was one of my single days. I don't fuck husbands, wives no more. So stop sending me from fucking from Yerba Linda, Whittier, West Covina. None of that shit.
Oh, fuck.
So no more. Stop it.
There were just stories, bro.
Those were stories. Those are my savage. Those are my savage days. Please.
Oh, fuck.
And I don't want to fuck a girl and see a guy like trying to jerk off and shit, dude. No. What's it called? Cuckold. None of that shit. But yeah, none of that. But other than that, that's about it.
All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to follow our Instagram pages at the Venue Pod. Manny is Baking, Chris the Pod Man, The Graveyard Shift Show, Double Trouble Network, and unfortunately, Fredo_rants.
And then we're on Spotify as well as iHeartRadio and iTunes.
Oh, iHeartRadio.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, that surprised me too.
Fuck yeah. Dude, big time, baby. Big time.
It surprised me.
Damn, iHeartRadio. Okay.
He was like, holy shit, we got approved.
Damn.
Fuck.
Yeah, dude, that email fucking fucked me up. I'm like, what? What?
Okay, cool.
Let me search myself real quick.
It's there. It's there. But yeah, dude, new episode of the Venue Pod with traditions, as well as the recap on the show itself. We should be having some people on next week, or I believe this weekend. So next week you guys should hear that new episode.
All right, guys. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Mega Man, for coming through, man.
It's all good,
Thank
dude.
you, Megaman. The show was funny.
That's good, dude.
It was a good episode. Hell yeah, appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. Till next time.
Later.